Hi garden friends, long time, no video. I just wanted to pop in and give you a little update on what's going on here in the garden and to urge you to grow greens. If you haven't already, grow some salad greens. It will be the most rewarding thing you've ever done. It's easy and they're delicious. It's such a difference just coming out and picking your greens fresh. I'm doing mine in containers, and I had a big bowl of salad that I picked earlier this week, and I just finished up today, along with a few tomatoes that are lingering into October. So take my word for it. I'm no expert, and I can do it, so I know you can too. So I know I've shown you this little garden patch before. These are my green stock containers that I decided to just deconstruct and grow on the ground. The one caveat being that I found that I needed to cover them with some agricultural fabric, to keep the cabbage loopers from laying their eggs and hatching little caterpillars, which then went to town on my lettuces. But just a couple of weeks ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago now, those mesclines there in the back, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to pick up the ag fabric right now because I have to go tuck it all in again, and I'm kind of in a hurry. But those mescline greens I had cut all the way to the soil surface, and partly that was due to the caterpillars. I found about 5 or 6 caterpillars, and actually I have cut them down twice now. So I cut them earlier this week too, and they've all come back flush. The butter crunch, not so much, but it was delicious. Got spinach. I've got this Tuscan kale and arugula, which is some of the most delicious arugula I have ever tasted, if I may say so myself. Had a wonderful peppery bite. And over here is the Swiss chard, which I'm letting get, pretty big. Timmy! Now look, there's Timmy. You all know Timmy. Oh, no, don't steal the tag. So it's bad enough that I have squirrels and birds, Timmy, digging around in my carrots here and in my container of sugar snap peas that I'm growing and using an old tomato cage for a trellis. But now I've got Timmy in there trying to grab a tag out of there. What a scamp. But here's the other thing I wanted to show you. This is the Vigo raised bed I put together a few weeks ago, and I am happy to say all the seeds I planted just over a week ago are germinating. So in this corner we've got radishes and hacure, if I'm saying that correctly, turnips. I forget all I have in there. Some kohlrabi, golden beets, and there's more butter crunch lettuce. And over here is pak choi. I'm very excited about that. I transplanted a few of the chard because it was getting a little crowded, and these ones were kind of getting too much shade from the taller ones in front. But I've got a couple more rows of chard, and finally, way over there in the corner, you can barely see them, some cauliflower. Now obviously I'm going to have to thin out those vegetables that I planted in the Vigo raised bed, so they have a little more room to grow. But I did oversow them, and I probably won't thin them too much. We'll just kind of play it by ear. I don't know if that's an expression you can use in the garden, but we'll just see how it goes. And one last look at the tomatoes. I really mean it. This time, they're on their last legs, but the Tiger Tom is really putting on a nice show here at the end of the season. But look, I've even got some larger tomatoes on the Sweet Scarlet, which I think I've been calling Sweet William for months, so sorry about that. And the peppers are doing well. There's one that's getting pretty big, but we've got lots of little peppers still to come. And over here, doing well. And the Vortex beans that I planted, about to flower. I was wondering if I should pinch those off so that they make it all the way up and over this trellis, but okay, I don't know. I've never done this before, so I'm just gonna leave them and see how they do, and maybe it's not hot enough for them. You can see the eggplant is flowering. Anne's got another little baby eggplant on there. And over here are the red noodle beans, and you know, they may not reach maturity before the cold weather gets them. They're a lot slower growing than the Vortex have been. Now you're probably looking over my shoulder and thinking, what is that big ugly blank spot there in your yard? That would be really perfect for a small greenhouse. Well, viewer, I will tell you, I have tried so hard to get a greenhouse, but there are multiple reasons that my efforts have not panned out. First, I'm not committed to spending a lot of money on a greenhouse, so I've been looking at admittedly lower end greenhouses, but good quality. And I'm really committed to a gray frame because I feel it's aesthetically more pleasing and it will be less obtrusive in the scheme of things. And you know, this is not something I'm running by the homeowners association. I see it as a temporary structure and something that enhances my backyard. And hey, right to garden, right? Am I right? Okay. If they did say, well, you didn't get the Architectural Review Board approval for that tiny little greenhouse of yours, I would say, oh, it's just a tiny greenhouse. And if they made me get rid of it, well, it wouldn't be a huge financial loss. So I had ordered a 4x6 Paul room hybrid greenhouse through the giant retail online retail corporation who shall not be named, and they told me that I would receive it in 4 to 6 weeks. I was very excited because I had reward points that made it almost half price. So I was looking at like a $550 greenhouse for like $250 to $300. Good deal. They said 4 to 6 weeks to ship, and on the last day of the 6-week shipping window, they canceled my order. And apparently they never had that greenhouse. I was never going to get it. I waited 6 weeks for a greenhouse that I was never going to get. So I dragged myself up out of the pits of despair and started looking around for the same model, which is really hard to come by in that gray. And my husband was feeling pretty sorry for me because he knew how much I was looking forward to this greenhouse. And he said, well, don't totally cheap out. Get one. You're gonna really enjoy it. You're gonna be doing this for years. Thank you, husband. So I found the one that I really wanted, which was a hexagonal, 6-sided, gray greenhouse with this adorable, peaked roof, pointy roof. You know what I mean, hexagon shape. And Costco had it advertised for $999. Now, I don't currently have a Costco membership, but found out you can make purchases through Costco for a 5% surcharge, and so I was happy to do that. I placed an order. Next day, get a cancellation notice from Costco. I am puzzled. They say, oh, some vague wording about check out your credit card number, make sure your information's correct, yada, yada, yada. So I knew that wasn't the issue, but I had done it with, my wallet on my phone. I thought, okay, maybe I'll just use a plastic card and that'll make them happier. So I went by our old standby card, and the next thing canceled. And meanwhile, I contacted both credit card companies who indicated that the charge was pending. So it wasn't like they didn't seem to have rejected it for any reason. So, silly me, fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times. I ordered it again through Costco, and again, I got a cancellation notice. So, after the 3rd time, I called Costco. I said, what gives? And the very nice person in Costco customer service said it looks like they were actually out of that model, at least that size. It comes in 2 sizes. I got the smaller 8-foot, or wanted to get the smaller 8-foot greenhouse, and probably never had it. So sure enough, when I went back to look at it again, they only had the large one pictured. So there you go. I got no greenhouse. I'm kind of worn out by this whole process. Other places claim to have the Oasis hexagonal greenhouse available, but I don't know. You know, I've got so many other things right now to do, including totally replanting the foundation around 3 sides of the house, because we just had that all taken out, and I've got lots of new plants. I got stuff to do inside, and then I decided I'm going to paint my shutters and front door and put millwork up all by myself. Well, okay, we'll see how that goes. Long and short, I got a lot of stuff to do. I just don't know if the greenhouse is going to happen now or ever. Stay tuned. So garden friends, that's it for this video. Sort of short and sweet. Not as short as you wanted probably, but that's all the news that's fit to share. And I hope all's going well in your garden and that you're enjoying fall wherever you are. Happy fall, happy gardening. Thanks for stopping by.